There's one more class. There is this year's class. And these persons are on their field work now. One of them keeps insisting that I don't have the courage to introduce them because I can't remember their names. They are Sri Mamuji from the University of Indonesia. Sri, where are you? There's Sri right there. She's doing her field work at the Law Library of Congress. And then there are 3 men, and I'll introduce them alphabetically, as librarians should. Scott Burson, who's from the University of Chicago and is doing his field work with George Grossman, and Scott's over there someplace. Mike Shirazi, who's the graduate of Gonzaga University and doing his field work at Columbia, and there's Mike. And this is the one that really challenges me. This is Charles Wallamu. Wallamu, but I put the accent in the wrong place. There's Charles. He's from the University of Zambia, and he is doing his field work at the Law Library of Congress. And they're going to graduate at the end of the summer, and I hope you will all make them welcome into the Alumni Association. Then can I introduce somebody else?
Sure, everybody.
Over yonder. First I'd like to say that all of those distinguished people who were introduced, most of them actually are here for a much more important reason than just because they're important. And that is that most of them have been field work hosts in the past. Or if they haven't been field work hosts, they've given their undying promise to be field work hosts someday.
That's Julia.
Julius is awfully busy.
Promise they'll stay.
I'm very grateful to Columbia this year. Francis is president. Francis is retiring. Hoover is going to Africa next week. Harry Bittner is up there holding the place together, and they took Mike, who needed to be in New York. Now, there are some others out there. One that's very, very important to all of the fieldwork students, the one who, at least all of those who've been here since she has, and that's Vicki, who was actually, who's taking care of all of them. There's Vicki Moore. Some of you really wouldn't have got through without Vicki, as you know. But if I went off to Guam or any place like that, Vicki knew ahead of time, and I don't believe that story about you ran all the way over the Out yonder, next to the pillar, is a fellow who is an ex-editor of the Washington Law Review, who could do anything. There are some people that can't fix a broken mimeograph machine, for example. This fellow could do that, or he could program a computer or edit the law review. And he and I went through the student unrest together. At one time when tear gas, the police were on campus and they had tear gas with them, and so we cleared the law school, and he and I stayed there holding the fort against foreign invaders. He was known by the faculty as the Associate Dean. And as Loyal Snyder, who is a Washington lawyer, I wish you would welcome Loyal. I mean, a Washington, D.C. lawyer. And of course, Betty Wilkins. Betty's worked very hard on everything that's gone on for the last 10 years at least, and maybe 12. I can't remember how long she's been there, but you all know Betty. She's a University of Washington graduate. That's just that she's a Beardsley vintage. She was a trailblazer, got the program going. Dan, thank you very much for all of this.
We aren't through yet.
Pat, you mean I can't thank them now? Just
well,
get
a little late,
missing.
a little late. You don't have to use the direction. There's some other people I want to introduce, and they have to do with where Marian is going shortly, and that is to California. And one of them is, of course, Professor Mortimer Schwartz of the University of California, Davis, an old buddy of Marian's court. And then I'd like to introduce two of Marian's future colleagues at Hastings. First is Gail Fleming, our Associate Law Librarian, and Linda Weir, our excellent reference librarian. Gail brought me the glad tidings at the Life Members Cocktail Party that the governor, Governor Brown, had signed the bill that provides for Marian's position at Hastings, and we are indeed grateful. And I might say that we're also grateful to Jim White for putting the heat on the Hastings administration. The governor also signed into law an extraordinary augmentation of the budget of $372,000 above our ordinary budget, so that's going to give us a pretty good book budget for Marian to play with when she gets there. But to get back to the reason that we are here, Marian, I think it's quite apparent tonight that the love and devotion in which your students hold you is more than apparent. And as a token of their appreciation, each of them has written you a letter, which is beautifully bound in this book, which tells the value of the experience that they had under your program. And I'd like to give it to you now.
I should have something learned to say to you. It's been a wonderful evening, and you know that there isn't any greater experience than being with the people that you love the most. I thank you all very much. I won't be writing you about these letters for a while, because it's not the kind of thing you can read on a plane. So it'll take me a while, but you'll hear from me, and thank you very much for coming.
I previously announced that this would be a bifurcated operation, and it still may be if you want to carry on the celebration. What happened was that we had rented a piano and